Good morning. So the big festivities are over. Joy, happiness, and unfortunately some tragedy. And I pray for the people who experienced tragedy yesterday. But there'll be none of that here because we have enough of our own problems and we can pray for others and trust that He's got the whole world in His hands, even when that world is sick and decaying. So last night, my son Dennis wanted to have a couple beers, and so I took his car, and it's sitting in my driveway, and drove it home. But instead of using my GPS, I took a couple of wrong turns. Oh, I remember this area. I can do it. 20 minutes later, I pull into a business parking lot and it's late. And I use my GPS and realize I am way off base. And my GPS starts taking me home. It wanted to take me through the tolls, and I said to it, no, take me another way, and it did it. And it was a path rife with memories. The pain. You know the saying, it cuts you like a knife. There's a battle raging in my heart. Part of me drags me into trusting myself and relying on no one else but myself, and believing I can do this better than anybody else can, including God. Yep. And then there's that other side of me that pleads with me, and I hear it. Lean on me. Let me take care of this for you. Trust me again. The battle rages on, and it reminded me of this Bible verse. So I brought it up, and I really love that Berean Study Bible translation. If you don't mind my going here, something I have to say. What causes conflicts and quarrels among you? Don't they come from the passions at war within you? Wow. Yes, James. They do come from the desires, the passions, the pride within me. I don't need anybody else. I got this. I'll fight my way through. And with that comes the fear. Can I? Do I? Will I? Sometimes, for me, I've got to realize that it can't be I. Which reminds me of something else. A hymn that we sang in choir years ago in church that my uncle just loved this. I'm only going to read a few verses out of the chorus. Not I but Christ, be honored, loved, exalted. Not I but Christ, be seen, be known, be heard. Not I but Christ in every look and action. Not I but Christ in every thought and word. Oh, to be saved from myself, dear Lord. Oh, to be lost in Thee. Oh, that it may be no more I, but Christ that lives in me. It's a very beautiful hymn. Do look it up. It's on hymnal.net, not to be confused with another one called, it has similar words, but it's not this one. So the first part of it is, if you want to look it up by its first verse, is not I but Christ be honored, loved, exalted, and that's a good way to find it, so you don't get it confused with the other one that's a little longer. So there's a battle going on in my heart and my mind, and as I was driving the streets, oh, that rage, how it wells up in my heart. And the pity party begins. Why me? He was my security and my provider. I had no worries back then. There were streets in which I used to take my daughter to dance, my youngest one, and we had some money. We could afford dance for her. I was looking at the places that I thought one day Dennis and I might buy a house and live. And I started thinking about how he died here in this trailer and what a step down it was from where we'd lived before. I was thinking about places we'd been along the way, place we ate pizza. It all seemed so surreal, and then I started thinking of other people in my past. Like, why did they deserve it when they're such nasty people? Why do they deserve to be taken care of and provided for? And why, God, did you just leave me out here to hang to dry? And I thought to myself, what's at the bottom of all this, Nikki? What's really bothering you? And the realization came that it was like, that I gotta do this all alone. But you're not alone, came the answer. You have God. And you have Christ. And you don't really need anything more. That's hard to live, isn't it? I mean, when push comes to shove, and I know there's women out there watching that don't think what I'm doing is sound. And maybe it isn't. I don't know. I might be a couple slices of bread short of a deli. I don't know. I feel strongly that it's the thing I must do. I feel like grab it while it's there. And what I'm grabbing is the ridiculous values on homes. I'll never get this price again for another 20 years, probably, or more. Because with all my heart, and quite frankly, Realtor.com is reporting on it, houses are starting to drop because people do not want to pay those mortgage interest rates. Plus, they keep jacking those prices up. Hyperinflation, and it always leads to deflation. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I mean, think about it. What are we going to do? Have $1 million homes in ordinary neighborhoods? No, it's just not going to work that way. The banksters have made their part of selling the mortgages. And they don't care what happens to those people. It's all the bottom line. And I know this was my last chance to acquire some money and try to salvage what's left in my life and maybe lead me to a path of something better. And somewhere deep inside of me, I believe God has inspired me to do this, that God's had my back all along, even though I've turned my back against God. He never really leaves, does he? He just kind of hangs out in the back. She'll come back. She'll see she can't do it on her own. Could I do it on my own? Oh, sure. I could, fumble around and probably, I'm not a stupid woman. I'm sure I could make this all work alone. But, James said it best. You don't have because you don't ask. I don't need you. I got this. So I'm asking God, be with me on this journey. I'm sorry for all the rage that I felt against you. And still, that doubt, somewhere in the back of my mind. What if you're not there, and what if you're not going to help me? I'm sorry about that too. Sorry for being wishy-washy and sorry for being human. But you made me this way. Human. And I'm just going to keep fighting that battle, God. I'm going to fight that battle. Not I, but Christ. So help me out here, won't you? I need a van to live in. And I need cheap storage. Please provide that for me. I'm here and I'm waiting. And give Dennis a hug for me, would you? Amen. Yeah, that's what I do all day. I talk to myself. I talk to Dennis. I talk to God. I talk to Bruce. I talk to my mom sometimes. I say, Mom, say hi to Dad. And if you've got an ear, would you just kind of whisper in one of the angels' ears and tell them what I need? And say hi to Aunt Helen. I'll tell you about Aunt Helen sometime. What a character. Yeah, there were good things in my childhood. She was one of them. My Uncle Andrew was another. They were people that instilled God in my heart, mind, and soul. And I've been trying to journey alone. See, I had Dennis, so I had someone to lean on, even when he was sick, because he actually was my best friend. I could tell him anything, and he never judged me. He never judged me. Not even the deepest, darkest of my secrets did he ever judge me. And so I was leaning on him, and now he's gone to heavenly places. And you just want someone you can trust, someone you can believe in, someone who's got your back. And humans are flighty. They come and they go. Some are steadfast if you find them in your life, but a lot of them aren't, as I've seen in my own life. So there's one that I know of who's been there for me when the chips were down, and that's my God. And I thank him for being there when the chips were down. I hope some of my subscribers aren't offended by my change of heart. I need God. I just didn't want God for a few years. I felt like if there was a God, he had to be cruel and uncaring. But I realized this. We do have free will, and we have to punch our way out of our own paper bag sometimes because we put ourselves in that paper bag. I think God wants us to be free. And I think he wants us to put all his cares upon him because he cares for us. So that's my thoughts for today. They ran in from last night when I was like, what's wrong with you, Nikki? Why do you feel this way? Because of the battle inside of me. It's probably always going to be there. Nikki, God. Nikki, God. And leaning more toward God is going to be my goal. And trusting him that no, I'm not going to starve. I'm not going to be stuck out on the road. And I'm not going to be both homeless and vehicleless. Those are my fears. I don't fear starving. I think I could probably eat off of my own fat for a good, I don't know, 6 months if it came to that. And I'll tell you something about last night and 4th of July. I don't want to do this anymore. I mean, so, we're waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. I don't know what we were waiting for. I think another couple of people that were supposed to come, and I'm starving. So I start eating potato chips and more potato chips, and I had a soda. Ugh. I don't want to see soda. I'm cured of chips. I'm so done. I even had this brownie, Publix brownie. And even though I can't taste, I could feel the syntheticness of it. No more. I'm going back to my beans, and I'm going to be happy about it. I do need some groceries. I tried to make it to the 2-week mark, but I got to have some staples. I'm going to get some yeast, and I'm going to make my own bread. Oh dear, I'm on a rant. Okay, well, I think that's in a nutshell. I think that's where I'm at. I think. And I'm done. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Love me or leave me, I guess. What can I say? These are the things that are going through my heart, soul, and mind. And I'm just going to share them. Because it's kind of important. Who's going to be in the driver's seat, Nikki, when you leave here? It better not be me. I need a power greater than myself. And I choose God. And that's it. Have a good day. I have a lot of postcards to mark, so I probably won't see you again until tomorrow. Unless, of course, something comes up in my crazy mind and I have to make a video. You know me. Bye.